Hello everyone, welcome back to Toy Story 2. My name is Dario. In the last part, we explored Andy's house and got all 5 tokens. And in this part, we're going to be stepping outside the house and going to Andy's neighborhood. And once again, the beautiful shot ruined by white text. The only clue that Buzz has is Al's license plate. But he... I'm sorry. Buzz figures out that Woody has been kidnapped by the same Al that owns Al Toy. Buzz and the gang. Oh my god, why is that so funny? I don't know why that's so funny that I said Buddy or Buzzy. Whatever. Buzz and the gang decide it's up to them to rescue Woody. I laughed way too hard at that. So finally, this is the first track of the game that isn't just Randy Newman's theme of Toy Story. They have it in the manual. I'll try to find their names maybe. But the music was done by a studio called Swallow Studios. Yes, that's actually what they're called. So, and a lot of the music in this game is really good. So, there will be times where I try to be quiet and let you guys listen to it. If not, go on YouTube and listen to it. Really great soundtrack. The N64 version of the music obviously isn't quite as good, so maybe listen to the PlayStation one. Anyways, the soldier will surrender if you quickly stomp on the molehills that are near. So, one of the special characters of this level is Sarge, and he needs help finding Scroop, so he's the collectible of the level. And for this one, you basically gotta play whack-a-mole with him while avoiding the lawnmower. I don't know what's with this neighborhood. People just leaving things on and self-driving lawnmowers and just craziness like that. I mean, then again, this is also a world where toys come to life, so oh man, maybe this world is like Maximum Overdrive or something, where like just things come alive. Stoves, cars, lawnmowers, like it's kind of frightening actually. So this should be the last one. Yeah, we got him. So, finally, let's step out into the Andy's neighborhood, and you'll kind of be disappointed that Andy's neighborhood is more like just... I can't even describe it. Like, I've never seen like like imagine leaving your house, where I presume this is the house we were just in, and your front yard is like no like there's no street, there's no out. Like, is this a street? Is this like a little like park that we all hang out in? Like I remember as a kid trying to imagine like, playing in this area and just being kind of freaked out just how enclosed it is. And I'll get into more into that later. So this is actually the first thing you could in the game where you can't actually beat it. Because I'll try to point it out here. You'll see little boxes that have rocket boots in them, and you need to get that from Mr. Potato Head in a later level. However, yours truly was able to figure out this back when I was about, I think maybe eight or so. You can actually beat this without the rocket boots. So it's gonna be three laps around this track. But basically what you do is you stand in front of RC, and every time he hits you, he bounces back a little bit. So I'll try this once, and if I can't do it, I might have to like skip ahead, because you can't afford to. If he goes past you once, it's over. So you gotta time it just right. So like right here, I gotta make sure to stop. Okay, so just try to stay in the middle, and whenever you see him come, just run in front of him. And like right here, I'm just gonna play it safe and have him stop right there. Alright, now this is the part you gotta watch out on, because this thing will mess you up. Those little like racing cars that shoot out at you. Like Spy Hunter, I guess? I don't know. So basically you see how the strategy works. If I don't get it, I'll, like, let's say I just mess up, I'll probably just skip ahead to when I do get it, just to be safe. See, I almost missed him right there. And the only thing really notable you get for getting a lot of tokens early is that all tokens are used for is just unlocking levels. So, it's really nothing too special, but I mean, at least at least by doing this little cheat, you know, little cheating way of doing it, we don't have to come back to this level to get this token. So that's basically all we do, is just save us a trip. So I guess that's worthwhile in a sense. And we did it. And I'm kind of curious, because I wonder if the game developers like realize that. I want to say, I mean, they kind of had to realize, like they kind of had to understand that while developing the game, that could have been something people could do. And the makers behind this game, Traveler's Tales, now known as TT Games, they mainly do Lego games now, like the Lego Star Wars, Lego Hobbit, Lego Harry Potter, all that stuff. And they're really, really fantastic game developers, and they've been making games since definitely the Genesis, probably even a little bit before that. But the game director of that studio, John Burton, he actually does a YouTube channel now, if you don't know, which I'm presuming almost everybody knows. Game Hut, that's what it's called. So give him a watch, and he'll talk about like the intricacies of game design, and it's kind of amazing and a little bit unsurprising how much thought game developers put into making their games. Like little tricks and stuff like that are really things that they thought of, you know, that people might do. So basically what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be surprised if they realized you could do that and just left it in, like, oh, you know what, if someone could figure it out, let them have it. Which I wish more games were like that. A lot of games nowadays are much more railroaded. Like, you know, you have to do exactly what they want you to do. The biggest example I can think of is like Rockstar games, for example, like Grand Theft Auto, which, let's see, Grand Theft Auto technically was around at this time, and whatever, I don't know why I'm thinking about it. Talking about Grand Theft Auto playing Toy Story 3, or Toy Story 2, that's something you never would have thought of. So this level, as big as it looks, it honestly isn't as big in my eyes as Andy's house, but it's still kind of a cool level. The music, as I mentioned, is pretty cool, and just running around a yard and stuff like that, which, I mean, this is kind of weird. Wait, maybe that we're in backyards or something, because who puts a pool in their, oh wait, maybe we are in backyards, because nobody would put a pool in their front yard, so that means everyone's backyard leads to like this little enclosed area. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. I've never been to a neighborhood where that's the case, but now that I'm thinking about that, like, now that I'm realizing that, that's actually kind of cool. Like, and this comes back to what I was saying in the first part, where just imagining the stuff as a kid, like, you know, actually being in these areas, has always just fascinated me. Because, you know, I used to just stay inside and play video games all day, and, you know, where we lived wasn't always, you know, the best neighborhoods. So because of that, you know, a lot of my perception of the outside world or different locations, aside from, you know, visiting family and stuff, was from video games and movies and stuff like that. So, you know, seeing this game, like, I always would just imagine, like, you know, what if I was actually, like, here? Like, you know, being a tall person here, if that makes sense. Not a tall person, but, you know, like, because, you know, a toy's, like, only, like, what? Like, 12 inches big? Like, so, like, imagining, like, running around this area, like, as a person and stuff. I don't know, it's cool just to see things. I mean, you get this, what am I trying to say? The same kind of things happens when you think about, like, the Tony Hawk games. Because, you know, those are also games that take place in, you know, the real world, for the most part. So just kind of things like that, where you just imagine, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to visit this place or run around and do this kind of stuff. So I think you could also just jump on this, but I like just doing the stomp, which I forgot to mention is an ability. If you jump and then press down on the C button, on the C buttons rather, press down, you kind of do like this, you know, stomp, which I can't remember if the game does tell you. Probably that Rex block tells you how to do it. Damn, definitely getting tongue-tied. Ooh, see, this is why you need water when you record. I wish I could just drink this water. Actually, that's disgusting. Why would I say that? All right, so I think we already got 2 tokens. Did we? We got the hidden one. We got the one for RC. No, okay, but we have basically 3 because we got 50 coins for Ham. So we're actually doing this level pretty swimmingly. The only other part of this level we haven't explored is the tree, which that might take a little bit. It really depends on how much you get hit. So, and this is kind of cool too because you're sort of thinking like, well, how's a toy gonna climb a tree? And they actually came up with really intricate ways of climbing things or doing things as a toy that aren't just simply just like, oh, here's a floating block. Oh, here's Ham. I totally forgot where he was. Like, they could have put like floating platforms that move back and forth, but no, they actually like put like what you saw, the swing set. They tied the swings so that way they create platforms for you, but it almost looks natural. Like you could actually imagine those things in real life. And even this tree, like once again, they could have had floating platforms, but you know, they use tree branches and just real life things to help sell the illusion, if that makes sense. I remember as a kid, like this level would take forever because it was always hard to try to do this jump. So, oh, okay, there we go. And then what I'm gonna do is jump for this rope here, because that basically gives you a quick shortcut back to the top without having to do all that platforming. And as I was saying, as a kid, this would take me forever because I would keep missing a jump or I would get hit and fall off. You know, I remember my brother having to, you know, get some of these tokens for me just because I didn't have the platforming skill. And as you know, as I mentioned before, it's like second nature now, like just long, ingrained muscle memory, which I'm pretty sure is the same way for most people. Like when it comes to like, you know, Mario games or Zelda games, Crash games even. Now, obviously, it makes no sense why these boards don't just fall over when you do this, but, you know, they're also a sentient toy, so don't need to ask so many questions. And it's kind of cool that they implemented, like, this gymnastic swinging and stuff like that, because once again, it allows you to traverse in a much more fun way. Ha ha ha, defeat the Zerg kite to get a token. So, this is where we are. This is where we're at in this game now. We're just fighting kind of kites. I mean, it's kind of cool though, and for the reason being, I'll show you. I don't think he can knock you off, but you can fly off pretty easily. So pretty much every boss in this game comes down to the same thing. Almost. For some it changes, but basically you shoot, run away, shoot, run away. And we almost got it. Alright. I've never seen a kite smoking before, but sure. Alright, keep on playing. So we gotta do Sarge back. Okay, so here's my, like, the part I love the most about climbing this tree. So let me try to find out where I am. Okay, so we're just gonna jump and just throw ourselves off. Ah, that's always so fun. Like, do you remember as a kid just like throwing your toys for some oddball reason, just to like have them fly or something like that? That was basically that scene from Toy Story 1 where he tries to fly and can't do it. I mean, I guess you could say I was falling with style, but, you know. Great job locating the troops. Here's your Pizza Planet token. So I think that's it. Oh, we got everything, so. And this one's way cooler because we can actually fly into the sky a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And then once again, the slot machine. It just comes out. All the money. I'm pretty sure there isn't a level where you do have 99 coins. I think it's always just usually around like 75 to 90. So we're going to save again. And we're actually doing pretty good on time, so we're going to do the next level, actually, because the next level actually isn't like the ones we've just seen. If the saving can hurry up. It's actually a boss level. The first boss of the game, Bombs Away. So we have a crazy kamikaze plane coming after us. You're actually supposed to wait for the plane to kind of, or actually, you know what would be cool? Let me do the passive camera. Get some cool shots of us, like, dodging this plane. Well, I'm such a movie person. I love doing, like, cool little things like that. Just, like, cool shots. Like, look at that. That's like North by Northwest right there. Like, what we just did. But basically, you're just supposed to wait for him to do this. It's usually best when he comes flying and shooting at you. So right about here, watch. But if you time your shots right, you can actually just kind of jump and hit him. You know, I mean, if you're good at the game, you can do that. Oh, he's barely alive. All right, let's do this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah! Whoosh. Boss defeated. And we're just going to save again real quick. I'll just cut ahead. So once again, I made that boss look easy, but I mean, as a kid, you know, imagine this game was made for kids, you know, 7 to 10 years old, maybe even younger. So it can be a little bit challenging. But with that out of the way, we actually got 2 levels out. We got Andy's Neighborhood fully completed, which you're normally not supposed to do, and Bombs Away. And a quick side note, because I do have a little bit of time here, I just want to mention how, like, I always found it kind of interesting how, like, this is literally just a yard, just a sectioned off yard. There's no doors, no way in or out. It's just a yard, you know, just surrounded by fence. And this game has had such a big impact on my life because, you know, sometimes when I'm out driving or, you know, out and stuff like that, you see certain areas like this. Like, you'll see, like, a gated off yard with, like, grass growing and stuff like that. Or, you know, even in, like, Andy's Neighborhood, you know, just things like that. Like, this game has had such a big impact on me. As a kid, I would see, like, areas like that while out and just kind of imagine, like, oh, that'd be such a cool level for, like, you know, to play, you know, as Buzz in Toy Story. Or, you know, even even areas like this with, like, chain link fences and stuff like that. And I used to do that as a kid, and I even still kind of do that now sometimes when I'm just out and about. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because, you know, this game, while it is simple, it has had such a big effect on me. So just wanted to share that. But anyways, with that being said, we'll end things off pretty swiftly today. And next time, we'll be going to the construction yard. Don't remember that from the movie, do you? Alright, I'll see you guys then.